What's going on, YouTube, man? Welcome back to another video. Now, before we jump into today's video, man, you should know what you should have been did. Like the video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, man. Listen, we trying to save the world. We trying to save as many people as we possibly can. So make sure you hit that post notification bell so you don't get that post nut clarity, my guys. Now listen, man. Hold on, before I start the video, I just wanna get my tripod real quick. Hold on, y'all. I'm probably gonna edit this out because my arm be getting tired, man. No cap. So listen, man. As y'all can see by today's title, I titled this video, when you do this, you already lost your streak on semen retention. If you call it no fap, if you do this, you already lost your streak, right? There is no, oh, I'm finna hit 100 days, because you already relapsed. And there's multiple things that I wanted to touch on in this video. So if I'm all over the place, you know, I already told y'all what this was going to be on. So when you do this, you already relapsed, brother. You already lost the war. So we all know about retention, right? And a lot of people get on retention for vain reasons, because there's still, believe it or not, there's still people out in the world who don't believe that when you start to hold in your seed, there's still a lot of disbelievers out there. You know, these are the people who don't seem to want to try it because they feel like it's a facade. They feel like we're lying. They feel like we're out here capping about the benefits and female attraction and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But there, believe it or not, there's still people out there who are disbelievers of this practice. Right? And a lot of the reasons why most people will get on retention or just go celibate or whatever you want to call it, the reason is because, you know, they just want to be a part of something that they feel like they're missing out on. So when other guys see men talking about, oh, I'm getting all this female attraction, oh, I'm getting more muscle mass, I'm getting more energy, I'm glowing more. So best believe other men are gonna want to hop on the wave, you know. But a lot of the times guys get on retention for the vain reasons. You really gonna see a guy that tells you, oh, I'm on retention for God, or I'm doing retention to better my life, I'm doing retention to strengthen my relationship with God. You know, you really gonna see people go about it that way. You know, but you're going to always see the people who get on retention, you know, who in their heart, right? The Bible tells us that God, he knows our hearts. God doesn't pay attention to the outside. It's only us humans who pay attention to people's outsides. But God, he focuses on what's inside of us, right? So a lot of guys, you know, they'll say they're trying to self-improve, but the whole time they're really on semen retention to get the women attraction. You know, because they want to experience something that they feel they're missing out on. You know, let me know if you experience this, but this is why a lot of guys would be like, oh, you're only on retention because you can't get a woman. It's because of those guys who be getting on retention just for the women attraction. It be those guys messing it up for us. Because best believe, I can get a woman right now if I really wanted to. Let's touch on that real quick. Sometimes the Most High might not give you what you want right now, but he's doing it for a greater reason, right? But I understand that I'm a good looking, handsome guy, and it's not hard for me to get a woman. And if you know the same thing about yourself, then don't listen to people telling you that, oh, you're only on retention because you can't get women. You know, because that's false. That's false. We all know what we can do. You know yourself, right? So those guys who be getting on retention just for the female attraction, they be messing it up for guys like us who be actually doing it for the right reasons. because many guys, you know, when they was fapping, they wasn't really getting no play like that. They wasn't really getting no women like that. So now that when they're on retention, that's when things start to, you know, that's when the game started to change. You know, and most times people be like, oh, I don't see any benefits on retention. The reason why you don't see any benefits is because you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You're doing it for the wrong reasons. And a lot of people do not have patience. A lot of people do not have patience. Because on my journey personally, I started to really notice the quote unquote benefits that God was blessing me with. I started noticing these things like maybe a month or two later. I started noticing these things a month or 2 or 3 later. I wasn't noticing like the big changes in my life until like 2 to 3 months later. 3 months max. That's when I was start to notice that my drive towards life is more like up there. Like I'm just ready to attack the world every single day. You know, it's around that 2 to 3 month mark. But when you first make the decision that, okay, I'm gonna stop releasing on the sites, I'm gonna stop releasing my essence, it's gonna take time for your body to get used to what you're trying to do. You know, it's gonna take time. So those people who don't have patience, that is why you don't see benefits. Because you're on it for the wrong reasons. You're comparing yourself to other guys who are getting the female attraction, whose energy are through the roof. They got the glow, and you're comparing yourself to those guys. But, you know what I'm saying? I just had to get that off my chest. But when you do this, you already relapsed. And the number one thing is, when you count the days, you already relapsed. If you get on retention and you're not doing it for God, you already relapsed. So that means if you get on there for the benefits, if you get on there for the, you know, the female attraction and stuff like that, you already relapsed. You know, because now that I'm starting to think about it, the true reason why I got on retention, you know, and I've said this in multiple videos, the true reason why I got on retention is because I felt like I wasn't, you know, doing anything with my life. I was tired of just, you know, submitting to the screen all the time. I was tired of not seeing any progress in my life. You know, and that can also manifest as me just wanting a God in my life, me just wanting a father in my life, me just wanting some proper guidance. You know, so I'm doing retention now for God and God only. I could care less about the benefits, because there's still days where I might feel tired. You know, there's gonna be lots of guys telling you, oh, your energy gonna be through the roof. You know, there's gonna be lots of guys telling you, you're never gonna get tired, you're gonna always be ready to go. Like, no, we're still humans at the end of the day. Retention doesn't just automatically make you a superhuman. You know, it doesn't make you a superhuman who's just better and you can just walk around with your chest high thinking you're better than other people, because that's not what it's for. That's not why we do this. This is why that title, semen retention, it gets a bad rep. You know, that's why it gets a bad rep. So you have to do retention for God. You have to do retention for God, and everything else will follow. Everything else will follow. You know, because once you start, you know, holding your semen in, that's when everything is going to start to shift. Right? That's when everything is going to start to shift. Because you trained your mind. You trained your mind to only know the sights. You trained your mind to always relapse every single day. So imagine if you break that cycle. Imagine all the new parts of life. Imagine all the new walks of life that you're going to start experiencing. You know, God is going to start opening up your spiritual lenses. You know, you're now going to be drawing more closer to the Most High. Because of what you're doing, you're becoming more pure. So now you can now see people for who they are. You can now test the spirits of these people. You know, quick story time. This kind of off guard. It's kind of like going off track. But if y'all know who Jim Jones is, he's a rapper, right? If y'all don't know him, I'm gonna drop a picture right here. I was just at work and he came in the store and I was at the register and I rung him up and I'm like, yo, are you Jim Jones? You know, because I was actually curious. Whenever I see, this is like the second celebrity I've came across this year, right? So I'm like, yo, are you Jim Jones? I was actually like, is that Jim Jones? You know, so when we see people that we've seen on TV, it's not like I was idolizing him, but when you see people that you've seen on TV in real life, it kind of makes you a little flustered. You're kind of astonished by it because you're like, yo, that's really him. You know, not really pedestalizing him because I try not to do that. But I was like, yo, are you Jim Jones? And this man, I don't know what it was, but it's like our energy just didn't match. Like, I felt like I was a more upbeat, cheerful, joy, peaceful type of guy. And I could just sense his spirit. I could just tell he was living in sin. And he wasn't even like acknowledging me. He wasn't like paying me no mind. I was like, are you Jim Jones? He didn't even answer me. You know what I'm saying? So other people as well can see who you are. Just like how, you know, you can see people for who they are. Other people can see who you are. And that's what happens when you're pure again. You know, so this is why I always tell people, don't expect everybody to mess with you. Because they're going to see the light shining off of you. You know, and when other people's lives are not how they want it to be, they're not going to feel like they have the right to spread joy and peace. And you know what I'm saying? They're not going to feel that. So I kind of brushed it off. You know what I'm saying? I brushed it off. I was like, man, he acting like he relevant. He not even popping no more. But back on the topic though, if you get on retention for any other thing other than God, you already relapse, man. You already relapse. Because now you're looking at it as a challenge instead of a lifestyle. You know, now you're looking at it as, oh, I'm trying to break my last streak instead of doing this ongoing. You know, the more and more you retain, the more and more it's going to become a part of you. You're not going to wake up every day and be like, oh, I'm on day 10. Oh, I'm on day 11. Oh, I'm on day 30. You're not going to wake up like that the more and more you keep doing it. Because it's now going to be embedded in you. It's now going to be who you are. You know, and that is how it should be. That is how it should be. This world has normalized, you know, sex. This world has normalized, you know, just sleeping around with random people. This world has normalized it. You know, so imagine living in a world, and you guys can vouch as well. Imagine living in a world where you're abstaining from fornication. Imagine living in a world like that, and everybody else is just fornicating. You know, you're going to see people for who they are. You know, life is going to now start to make sense. You know, and honestly, that's the best benefit in my opinion. Life is just going to start making more sense. You're now going to have more clarity. You're now going to have more purpose, more direction. All due to the grace of God. You're now going to have all these things. You know, forget the confidence. Forget all of that stuff, man. Because that's vanity. We can get confidence through our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. We can get all these confidence and strength from Jesus Christ. You know, we don't got to go outside and fake be confident. We can pray about these things. You know, so I want y'all to stop getting on retention for vain reasons. You know, and this is why a lot of people struggle with relapsing, right? Because they not taking themselves seriously. They not taking this lifestyle seriously. They think this is something that you can just play around with. It's not something to play around with. This is very serious. This is why a lot of people do not last. And when they can't last because they lack self-control, they start to make you seem like you're the lame. They start to make you seem like, you know, something is wrong with you. When the whole time they just can't control their lust. right? And I made a video on this. I made a reaction on this. I'm gonna drop it right here. If y'all haven't checked that out, make sure y'all go check that out. But basically, that was today's video, man. Do not get on retention for vain reasons. Have a purpose, have a why. Your why should always be God. God should be your why, right? God should always be your why as to why you're fleeing from fornication. Because if God is not your why, you're always gonna fall for something, which is gonna come from the girl you might see come disguised as an angel of light. You're gonna be like, oh man, I'm retaining my seed, I'm gonna try to talk to her. And then what's that's gonna do? That's gonna lead to a relapse. So always do retention for God, and God will direct all your steps. Right? So I just wanted to bring this video out to y'all, man. I don't want to make this any more longer. So listen, man, if you guys took something valuable or learned something new, make sure to drop a like. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions, man. Share this video with a friend because they most definitely will need it, my guy. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'll catch you in the next one, and I'm out.